Here's another factoring trinomial example for you. The area of an isosceles triangle is 108 square feet. Find the perimeter of the triangle if the length of each leg is 15 feet and the length of the base is 4x plus 2 feet and the height is 3x feet. So the first thing you want to do is identify what your task is. Make sure you understand exactly what the question to answer or problem to solve. You may want to discuss the context of the problem with the partner. Describe your task in your own words, list any questions that you may have, and how can you find the answers to your questions. Okay, so we have an isosceles triangle. The area is 108 square feet, and we want to find the perimeter. The length of each leg is 15 feet, and the length of the base is 4x plus 2 feet, and the height is 3x. Now remember that the perimeter is the outside, okay? So if we're looking for the perimeter, we're going to be taking 15 plus 15 plus 4x plus 2. Right? That's the perimeter. That's the whole outside of our isosceles triangle. Now we can simplify this. 15 plus 15 is 30. 30 plus 2 is 32. So we have 32 plus 4x. But we can't completely find the answer yet because we don't know what x is. But we do know that the area is 108 square feet, and we do know that area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. And our base is 4x plus 2, and our height is 3x. So we can, if we think about how will we approach this task, we're going to use the area formula to find x. Then we will use x to find the perimeter. Okay, so we're going to solve two problems. We're going to solve the area problem, and then we're going to solve the perimeter problem. So use your strategy to solve the problem. Drag the expression to label it. Okay, so we're going to label it just like I did my crappy drawing over here in purple. So we know this is 15. We know this is 15. We know this is 4x plus 2. We know this is 3x. So using the area formula, we know the base is 4x plus 2. We know that the height is 3x. And we know the total is 108 square feet. To solve that, we're going to, actually, let me scroll back up here so you can see the diagram because I'm going to erase all this extra stuff. Wipe the screen clean so I can start over here. We'll stay in blue. So to solve this, we're going to use the distributive property first, right? Let's go ahead and distribute that out. So half of 4x, 1/2 times 4x is 2x. 1/2 of 2 is 1. And that's all going to get multiplied by 3x. So we're going to have 2 times 3, that's 6x squared plus 3x. And we know that's equal to 108. Now we can continue. I can't scroll with this on there. That's okay. We continue. We can subtract 108 from both sides. That's going to give us 6x squared plus 3x minus 108 equals 0. Okay, now remember, we're factoring a trinomial, so we're going to factor this. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see if we have any greatest common factors in here. So we know that 3 is divisible by 3. We know 6 is divisible by 3. And 108 is divisible by 3. So I'm going to pull out a 3. And that's going to give us back to 2x squared plus x minus 36 equals 0. Now we're going to factor this guy because it should be easier now that the numbers are smaller, right? So give you a second to look at that and get that written down, and then we will go on to the next part. Okay, so if you remember from factoring by grouping, right, we can take our 2x plus x minus 36, and we can break that up into two different little things here. So we're going to use 2x squared minus 8x plus 9x minus 36. This multiplied out, or added together, sorry, not multiplied. This added together is going to give us the same problem that we have up here, but it also is going to allow us to simplify this even further. We can take out that 2 and an x, and that leaves us x minus 4 on the inside. Over here we can take out the 9, and that will leave us x minus 4 on the inside. Here we go. And so that means that 2x plus 9 and x minus 4 is the factored form of 2x squared plus x minus 36, right? And we still have that 3 following us around. I should write it on this step too. Okay, and that's all equal to 0. So what that means is that either 3 equals 0, which no, it doesn't, okay? 2x plus 9 equals 0, or x minus 4 equals 0. So if this is the case here, we subtract 9 from both sides. 2x equals negative 9. Divide by 2 on both sides. X equals negative 4.5. Or we add 4 to both sides. So x equals 4. Now when we're talking about distance and stuff, we don't want to deal with the negative. The negative doesn't help us there. So we're going to be looking at x equals 4 for our problem here. So now, since we only want the positive number, we're going to plug that back into our problem for the perimeter, which if you remember from before, we said that the perimeter was 15 plus 15 plus 4x plus 2, which we simplified to 32 plus 4x And we now know that x is 4, so we're going to plug 4 in for x. So we get 32 plus 4 times 4, which is 32 plus 16, which is 48. And the last step here says how can you know your solution is reasonable? Okay, we can defend our solution based on the positive number from our trinomial factoring, and that because one side is 15, the other side is 15, we know it has to be bigger than 30. There's a lot of different arguments that we can make for that.